Okay, I think we are live. I'm not sure if anyone's going to show up because it's been a long time since I've been on the channel, but hello. If you're new here, I'm Julianne Victoria. I don't think I've posted on my channel a video in a year or more. It's May 2023. And I'm not sure if this will go recorded onto my channel because it looks like StreamYard did an upgrade and it says it won't record it, but we'll see what happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and I'll have to do a new uh, update later on. So I see some people are coming in. If you're in, can you let me know if you can hear me, see me okay? I had to sort of refigure out how to do a live. Hi, Patrice. Since it's been so long, I was like, what do I do? Oh, hi, Gerald. Hello. So yay, some people are here. Awesome. So does anyone know who uses StreamYard? Because when I started the live, it said StreamYard does not record anymore. You have to upgrade your plan. Will this record on my channel, or is it only going to be live at this very moment? I'm out of the loop, obviously, because it's been so long. But if you know, let me know. And I was saying maybe before some people came in that I might have to do another update. But you hear me fine. Awesome. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So here I am. This is my new office space. It's pretty much done, but I have all my tarot and oracle decks in 3 large boxes. It will stand much awesome. Okay. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to repeat things, or I just won't. I don't know. Awesome. Thank you. But where have I been? So it's sort of been a 1.5 year journey. So the end of 2021, we were looking to move somewhere. We kind of had the Pacific Northwest in mind, and we decided we'll look in Oregon. Thank you. Thank you, Patrice. And we kind of had a feeling the whole year of 2021 that we probably were going to move, but we didn't know when or how or why or any of the logistics. But all of a sudden let me preface that. When I did the year ahead readings for my husband and I for 2021, our first card for both our spreads was the 10 of Swords. And I thought, are we moving around the end of the year or the beginning of 2022? And so sometimes that question gets put out to the universe and things fall into place. Oh, thank you, Shelby. Awesome. Someone who has I'm going to show that, has my sigils deck. Thank you. Check it out. It's not linked below, but it's on my channel somewhere. I didn't get the description stuff in yet. It's been a while. So I had a feeling in 2021 we were going to move, and I was somewhat prepping us energetically and magically for a move and to make it all work out in a prosperous way. So towards the end of 2021, my husband applied for one job up in the area here in Oregon. The one job available, he's somewhat specialized field. And he got the job, and we're like, okay, we're moving sometime at the beginning of 2022. And we're like, okay, we thought we missed the peak of the housing for a house sale, but it ends up we hit the peak. But what we just said, okay, we're moving. He had to start his job in February. We left. The house was a mess. We hadn't put it on the market. We didn't know where we were going to live. We were just like, okay, this is time to go, and it's all going to work out. And everything fell into place. So we found a rental. Well, first we were in an Airbnb for a few weeks. It was haunted. That was an interesting experience. I can go into that if you're interested. And then we found a rental, just sort of like not knowing, right? And then we went through the process of selling our house, which had some stresses because you're doing it from a distance. And it actually worked out better than we had expected. And then we bought this home with a bit of land which is kind of like what we were really hoping for. It was sort of like we got our ideal, uh, without really saying we have to have this. It was just sort of like, be open. Yeah, exciting and scary. Like, we left, and we had decided to leave before my husband got the job. We said, we're going to move at the beginning of the year, and we're going to figure out it's all going to work. We're going to make it all fall into place. And of course, I did a lot of magic to help help the energy. So we found this place. It still needs and did need and still needs a ton of work. We've done a ton of work. A lot of it we've done ourselves, which is a big reason why I just haven't been on my channel. I've been very busy fixing it up. You know, we had roofers do the new roof because there were leaks, and like the big things, you know, we'll hire people who know what they're doing. But we're basically redoing all the inside. I call it a cosmetic upper because it wasn't exactly a fixer upper. We could have moved in the way it was, but there were lots of things that needed fixing. And we found a lot of things as we've taken things apart. It's like, oh, we need to fix that. We basically have redone the electricity, the gas, and the water, some walls, mouse infestation, a rat infestation, all sorts of stuff. We've been working on that, been busy. I've been rehabbing the land. I built a garden. I redid there's a veggie patch that was sectioned off, but it was overgrown with blackberries like 8 feet tall. So that had to be all cleared out, dug out of the dirt. I had to terrace it because it's on a hill. So we've been super busy. I can't even count off all the stuff we've been working on, and we're still working on, almost done with the house. And then we also have a barn that we're going to fix up. So a lot of work. But I love the projects. Let me catch up on the comments here. Oh, you want to hear? Okay, Patrice wants to hear about the haunted Airbnb. So, oh, and Shelby, so many people here. I didn't know. I don't know. Like, you hear about the YouTube algorithm and stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know if this is going to pop up for anyone because I've been away for so long. But awesome to see so many people. So the haunted Airbnb. One, it was just creepy. It just felt creepy. It was a little house. Everything, of course, the modern way is all painted gray floors, gray walls, everything gray. But it had a little backyard for our daughter to play in and our dog. Oh, thank you, SLH. I consider coming back with it, but I don't know, maybe I'll do a Patreon thing. I don't know. Okay, but the haunted Airbnb. So we're there, and there were 2 incidences, maybe 3, now that I think back, where I was either sitting at a table that was like near the front window the first time. So the first time I'm sitting at a table that was by the front window. The blinds were kind of closed because it was really bright. The sun was shining in. And I saw a silhouette walk by the window, and I heard the footsteps come up the few steps and walk on the front porch. And it was about the time my husband was supposed to be back from work. And I thought, oh, he's home. So I get up and I go to the door, and nobody's there. And at the same time, my daughter got up and ran and hid behind a door to one of the bedrooms, like freaked out, which she wouldn't normally do. And I was like, first I was just like, okay, someone was here. No one, but there's no one here. There's not like someone ran up and just, jumped over and ran off. No one was around. And my daughter, like, inexplicably freaked out, and she couldn't explain why. The second time, I was lying on the couch resting, and my daughter was playing, and I hear the steps, and I think again, oh, because it's 5 o'clock-ish, and my husband was going to be home then. I thought, oh, he's home. Okay. And again, my daughter, like, she got scared and she hid. And I'm like, and I get up and I open the door and nobody's there. And then I think there was a third incident. Those are the 2 that stand out. And then also, because I would sit at this table by the front window, because it's kind of just where I set up my own little desk station. I would feel like something like doing this along my hip. It was, and I kind of had this vision. It was like a woman's skirt, and she was looking out the window, and I just happened to be there and feel it. Like she was waiting for her husband. So I got this overwhelming feeling like a woman waiting for her husband to come home. And then, like, we heard his ghost come home. So it was a little creepy. And then my husband had an experience. He had to sleep in a separate room because the bedrooms had only double beds, and my daughter wanted to sleep with me. So he slept in a different bedroom that had like mirrored closets behind the bed. It was kind of weird. They kind of stuffed, made an extra bedroom out of rooms and stuff. But he said he woke up, he had to, like, oh well, in the morning he woke up and one of the doors was open, and that night he had a feeling like someone was there, and saw that he was there and was like, oh, and surprised. I can't he'd have to explain it, but yeah, like he was creeped out by the closets behind his bed. um so we were really happy to leave, but it was just a little weird in there, and especially at night when it got dark. So that was our haunted Airbnb. But that was some of the most sort of tangible ghost experiences I've had. I mean, I've had quite a lot, but it was like a repeated experience of hearing someone with these ears, not my mind's ear, walk up to the front door and then no one be there, and to see the silhouette walk by the window. It was, yeah, glad we're not there. Because there was a chance we would like have to extend our Airbnb stay. And our backup plan was like, well, we can Airbnb hop till we found a place to rent, or if we had sold our house by then, hopefully have bought a new place. But yeah, that is the haunted Airbnb story. Yes, a little freaky. Yeah, it was just uncomfortable there. And at night, because the bedroom my daughter and I were sleeping in must have been part of like the original front room, dining room, but they walled it off or something. Like you could kind of tell how they sort of mashed rooms in. And like I felt like someone was also in that room because it was in the front, looking out the windows, waiting for someone. And so it was a little hard to sleep. Just, yeah, a little creepy place. But here we are now in our new home, doing lots of work. Yeah, lots of rehab, fixing up, fixing things we finding other things to fix. But again, a lot of it has been done. Again, there's still more to do, and then just maintaining it. And lately, of course, it's springtime. I've been trying to get the garden going and designing like the front garden. I want to put in like a little cottage garden. So I've been like planting seeds, this and that, getting a few trees, lots of work. So I thought, you know what, today just felt like time to get back online, get some balance into my life, because everything's been on the home and the family and getting everything going and getting our lives going. And even though we've been here over a year, I feel I'm not in the house over a year, but in this location over a year. Yeah, I'm just now starting to feel like grounded and settled in place. So yeah, just getting going, get back into the groove of things. I don't know what I'll do with this. I think that I've decided that this channel, I want to focus mainly on like tarot and astrology stuff. Because I do have my other channel, which I've barely started. It's called Hedge Witch Ways. If you want to go check it out, just Hedge Witch, one word, Ways on YouTube. I only have one video there. I did start another video before, but then I was like, it's too soon. I took it down and then I put a new one up. But that's going to be more of a vloggy one, like magical, witchy stuff I'm doing. And I've kind of been working on the next video. It just takes a while to get all that done, and I have lots and lots and lots to do. So I just want to catch up. High iridescency designs. Wow. Yeah, great to see so many people. Anyone have questions for me, or should we start unpacking my decks? I did have them unpacked in our rental because we were there for like a little over half a year. And we had to stay there while we got some work done on the house, because we had to get the house move in ready. Like we had to do some work on the floors and stuff. I mean, we could have moved in and crammed all our stuff into one room and in the garage and moved stuff around, but we're like, well, we have the rental. Let's just get some things done that make it easier to move in and then continue our work. So I had them unpacked, and then I was like, my We Don't Talk About Bruno video, I think that's the only one, was filmed there. And so you can probably see that they were unpacked. But when we moved our stuff into this house, I had to repack everything, of course. And I've set this room up. I just haven't unpacked the decks. I've just pulled out the ones I've needed for client readings or personal readings and so on. And I was saving them because I thought, oh, maybe I'll do an unpacking video. And I've been saying that for like 6 months. So here I am, finally doing it. Thank you, Patrice. It's good to see you too. So yeah, shall we unpack? And I thought, because it's been so long, maybe I'm ready to part with some decks because I have to get to know them again. I've, only worked with a handful of them. So if there's a deck that's screaming for you, you really want, you can email me about it and we can talk if I'm willing to part with it. Or my email is on my About page on my channel. So you can check that out there. So let's unpack 3 big boxes. I don't know if we'll get through it all today because it's already 17 minutes in, but let's keep going. So 2 decks I've been working with lately for clients and myself are the 5-cent tarot and the serpent and the peacock tarot. I like the 5-cent tarot. It's quirky. This is the deck I took with me when we first moved, and I said, I'm just going to work this deck till it's really worn, which I have been. So some of you might be familiar with this. It's kind of, I don't know, circusy. Makes me think of the circus, just with the art style, sort of Victorian era. Very cute and quirky. I know some people don't like keywords, but sometimes some of them really jump out, and that's like when you get those literal messages out of the tarot. So this is one I've been working with nonstop for 1.5 years, just because I really like it when a deck gets really worn. It doesn't always shuffle as nicely. Some of you probably know I love riffle shuffling. But yeah, it's like I want to use my decks, and I have a lot, and it would take a long time to get through them. And only certain ones I use for client readings on a regular basis, and some I just use for myself. But I love that worn out deck feeling. So the serpent and the peacock is an indie deck. I don't know if I've seen this around, but just give you an idea of it. It's gilded. And it's actually, it's collaged together, but in a really good way. Kind of medieval, creepy weirdness as well. Get a feel of that. I won't do, because there's a lot of decks, but I'll just give you a feel for the decks. Any of you are curious about them. Okay, so there's a lot. I have Morgan Greer, and maybe I won't show the cards unless someone in the comments says, can I see some of the cards? Because I kind of want to get these unpacked, and then I'm going to put them away in my, can I point to it? My cabinet here. That top part of that black cabinet, that's going to be full of decks. So Morgan Greer is a standard deck for me, a very well-used, I'll just show it. Another well-worn client deck, but it wears very well. Like, I've had this for years and years, and it's holding up nicely. The box is, of course, not. Okay. Next deck, I have the Sun and Moon Tarot. This is a Thoth-based deck, and it has, after saying I'm not going to show the cards, it has the Thoth keywords on the top. So, on somewhat simplistic artwork. You can get a feel for that. That's another deck I've used quite a bit for client readings. Oh, one stayed out. This deck, Serpent and the Peacock, I've mainly used for myself, in case you're curious. Okay. Should I try to stick to just tarot? This is the Wisdom of Field and Forest Tarot. It's an art or a photography deck. Very few made, indie deck. So it's nature photography. I love this deck. I would call it pseudo abstract because the images are not obvious for what the card is. So you kind of have to know the cards. You can't just go off the image. But the image brings depth. I really like it. I'll set that one there. Then I have the Lily White Tarot. I also have the Lily Black. Is it nearby? You'd think they'd be together or in a similar spot, but no. So I have the Lily White Tarot. It's beautiful watercolor. Never mind. I'm just going to show some cards. We'll see what we get through. But I think it's like digital watercolor or watercolor digitally altered. Beautiful deck. I love this deck. And the Lily Black Tarot is just black cards, and the artwork was like chalkified, like made to look like chalk art. So that I believe is done digitally. I don't think she re-chalk drew them, but I could be wrong. Next, we have the Dark Mansion Tarot. And most people are pretty familiar with this. Well, I feel like the star card keeps coming up. Pretty standard RWS, Rider-Waite-Smith imagery in its own artistic way. Very fun deck. I want to stick to tarot. Let's see. Put the Oracle side. Here I have Shadowscapes Tarot. I don't have the box, obviously, but I had trimmed the edges off of this, and I colored the edges. An experiment. A little challenging, some of the cards, not knowing what they are without the trim with the name of it. I mean, obviously some you can count the pentacles, you can tell, but like some of the court cards are like, wait, is this the king or the knight? But a beautiful deck. And I actually thought when I trimmed it and colored the edges that I would someday give this to my daughter. Right now she only uses the Children's Tarot, which is one of my decks, because it's perfect for her right now. So there's that one. And then we have Hanson Roberts, another well-worn, taped together deck. Let's see. Well, I would say most of you or a lot of you are probably familiar with this, but I don't know. I think it's gone out of fashion for a lot of new decks. RWS from the 1970s originally, I believe. Is there an original publication date on here? Somewhere. I don't know, but it's old. Or old, and it was like after like, you know, Rider-Waite-Smith and Thoth and some others. This is like one of the next newly drawn out tarot cards. Am I explaining that well? Before the recent modern 21st century tarot explosion. Okay. So this is one I use for clients quite a bit as well too. And I like it. It's a little smaller, so it's easy to take places. Yeah. I like it. I don't know if it's your style. Gerald, he says he has Hanson Roberts deck, but doesn't own it or knows it. Then I have the Star Tarot. I don't want to undo the bow, but I have the Star Tarot, and I had color coded the edges. I don't typically color the edges, but I was trying it out in a phase, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't want to undo the pretty bow. So that's the Star Tarot. You can look it up. These go here. Then I have the Joie de Vivre Tarot. Another deck I've used quite a lot with clients. It's held up well. It's got this very shiny, plasticky finish, but not in such a way that it produces lots of glare, right? So fun and whimsical, but definitely RWS. So I like this deck. And basically you can tell because the box is well worn that I've lugged it around. It's even like falling off at the bottom here. I'll have to tape it soon. It'll need some tape. Yeah. I'm not going to get through all of them today. No way. Is that a tarot? Yes. Then we have the Dreaming Way Tarot. This deck I love. I think I've used it much more for myself than clients. And actually, I used this deck when we were in the rental for a while, mostly for myself. But I love this artwork. It speaks to me. Again, I would say RWS. Yeah. And I think I like the color scheme a lot. It has a lot of like black and burgundy red. Okay, Dreaming Way Tarot. And no, I'm not going to go and list all these below. So if anyone's watching, you have to watch. I'm not going to come back and watch the video and list all my cards in order. Okay, then we have the Hermetic Tarot. Another deck I don't see used a lot. And you can see underneath, based on the esoteric workings of the Secret Order of the Golden Dawn. Although it's not RWS, it's, I would say, more intense. It does rely on, or it's helpful to know the astrology involved, and it's often shown. And of course, they have the Hebrew letter associated. So Magus of Power. And you get a feel of like, it's a little more, it's more esoteric than RWS. Goes more in depth. And it is somewhat, even though this is black and white, the Tarot of the Holy Light, which I've done a whole series on with the Mystic Rose Tarot, I would pair those two together with their esoteric symbolism, if that makes sense. And sorry, that's just my phone ringing. It's wind chimes. It's pretty. Okay, so that is that deck. So you guys are helping me get reacquainted with all my cards. Let's see. Oh, here's Lily Black. So remember I showed, I have Lily White because it's white and Lily Black. And this one is the sort of chalk art version of the Lily White. I don't know how well that comes off on camera, but it's like, yeah, chalk art on a blackboard, which I think is a really cool idea. And I think it's been repeated since. I just love the way it looks. Okay, I think I like black backgrounds on things quite a bit. Okay, so that's that pair. And then we have the Marigold Tarot. So fair amount of indie decks. We'll see. We'll see if I have like half and half mass market, half and half indie. I don't know. I love the Marigold deck. Again, a black background. It's a little, people who don't like skeletons, might not be your thing. But I love this deck. And I do often take it out more in the fall. It's definitely a fall or Halloween season deck. Okay. gilded, which doesn't matter to me. Actually, gilded decks can sometimes cut my skin. So I actually prefer not gilded. So many decks. I think it's good to have them all packed away for a while to give me that perspective on like, oh, these are all my decks and I'm looking at them every day versus like working with 2 decks for extended period of time. Okay, so the next one is, no, wrong way, the nameless one. It's a tarot and oracle deck, so it has full tarot plus oracles. It also comes with a very large guidebook. I think it's called a grimoire for it. But let me just show you some of these cards. Huge cards. So standard tarot size and these very big deck. This is one I've used only for myself. Beautiful artwork. So as the artwork, just four of wands. And then she made sigils for them as well. So I paired this with my own sigil deck in some readings. I think I posted some on my Instagram, one of them at some point. Might have been my newer Instagram. I don't know. You'll have to go find it. So beautiful deck. And again, it's the black background. I'm just realizing as I'm doing this how much I really like cards on a black background, which is something to think about because I still have some decks in the works that have only gotten a little attention because I've had so many other projects. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you. They're all, my actual wind chimes are, I finally dug out the last one because we still have some things in boxes in the garage, in the barn. Our last wind chime and hung it, but I still want to move it. And yes, it's not, it's kind of like going shopping in your own house or like, it's the same thing with, some of our clothes. Like we were in the rental, but like a lot of our stuff we didn't unpack because we knew we were moving again. So it's like you forget the like all clothes that were hung in the closet I did not unpack, and we just kind of went through the stuff you actually wear the most, which, you know, jeans and t-shirts and all that stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, all these clothes I should wear them. Oh, thank you, Gerald. See ya. So next we have the Pagan Otherworlds. Lovely deck. It's very slick. So I'm going to hold on tight. Pippish deck. I think that I have a video out of like my Pip and Pippish decks, and this is there. Not totally. There is some scenery, but it is, I see it more as like a Pip deck. So yeah. I love this one. Oh, it's like getting reacquainted with old friends. Okay. Then we have the Medicine Woman Tarot deck. And it, you know, there's books that come with a lot of these, but they're already unpacked in there. The books have been unpacked, but not the cards. So Medicine Woman Tarot. So a Native American themed deck, hand-drawn art. There's, I don't know, something cozy about that. Like, yeah, not that a lot of modern ones aren't, but you like it. You know, it was done before the age of computers, where things could all be like perfected out, right? Okay, so Medicine Woman Tarot. And this one was published a while ago too, 1990. I found the date on that one. Okay, then we have the Majestic Earth Tarot. I think this one is out of print. I got it when it briefly came back into print. Snagged a copy. Like it has some printing errors on it, which is just like the top part is white line or something. So that's all that was available. And I love that. I like that sound. I don't know if it comes across very well, but it's because it's like that matte sound. So this one, I would say that the images, like it's a well curated deck from artwork. The images work well with the the tarot card. Some curated decks are sort of like not quite getting why an image was used, but I would say this one is very well curated. Yeah. Okay. So, and our ancient old artwork, Renaissance artwork deck. Okay. Next, we have the Holy Card Tarot. I have a video on my Catholic decks, I think it's called. This is in there. Show you some of these. It has a little bag inside. So yeah, Catholic themed, of course, the Holy Card Tarot. But well done, I would say, very well done. Okay. And it includes some saints and stuff. Not everyone's cup of tea, and of course, a lot of people in the tarot community who come from a Catholic background want nothing to do with it, but I find them fascinating. So, all right, this deck, what is this one? This is the Tarot of Physics. I think this has been out of print for a long, long time. I think this is just an ingenious deck. I may be the only one laughing about that, but I don't use this for readings, really. I just love having it. I think it's just so witty. The Tarot of Physics. I just love that someone took the time to make a deck based on physics. Very cool. Okay, that guy goes over there. All right, let's pull some more out here. Mystery decks. That's Oracle. Okay. Life is like a board game tarot. So it's a Monopoly tarot. And if I can open it up. Okay. And the cards, of course, look like Monopoly property cards. Better things ahead way, Six of Swords, Strength, Holding on Tight Avenue for the Four of Pentacles. So it kind of gives me a giggle. Wearily Defensive Gardens for Nine of Wands. So you get the idea of that. I'm assuming this is still available somewhere. I can't remember where I got it. I saw it somewhere and I Google searched and found it. Okay. And then we have the Tarot of Shadows. So you got a little bent up. And this is Tarot Plus. So Tarot and Oracle. Tarot Plus. So there's more than 78 cards. I'll just show some to you. It's not a standard deck. And there are extra cards. Of course, herbalism's used and so on. Yeah, I use this one probably more like an oracle, like a one card draw. And I haven't used it in a while. Though I kind of feel like I want to play with it some more right now. But definitely want to bring out more in the fall as well. Set that back there. Oh, okay. So here we have the Inspired Soul Tarot. A generic box. I wrote that on there. This is by Julie Peekaboo Rose. It's an adorable deck. It's a pip deck. So very cute. I love supporting fellow YouTubers out there when they make decks. So it just came in the plastic wrap, and then I just got a generic box for it. Forgot about that one. Next, I have the Vision Quest Tarot. Let's see, how are we on time? Maybe I'll go till 11, a full hour. And then if people want to see more, because I won't be done, let me know. So Vision Quest Tarot, another Native American themed tarot deck. A little bit more clearly RWS than the Medicine Woman Tarot. Of course, the Medicine Woman, as I say that, we have Medicine Woman. Tarot is Medicine Woman focused, right? So I love this deck. This is what I would call another older deck, like pre-recent tarot explosion, 1998. Yeah, so before the 2000s, or the last 10 years or so. What is this? Oh, that's an oracle. This deck, I think I found this on Etsy. It's called the Printer's Tarot. And it's a pip deck. All the images are made out of letters on a typewriter, which is kind of cool. So I got it for the artistic, creative idea. It's all just letters typed out. And the Fool is all wise. So I thought that was a cool idea. I like, occasionally I'll get a deck just because it's different. It's, yeah, the unique ideas. Because then it inspires my own creative stuff. Not that I want to copy it. Like I won't get things that I think are similar to something I'm doing because I don't want the influence on it. But if something's just like totally unique and just the energy of that unique idea, sometimes I'll just get that deck. Wow. It will never end. Do I really have this many decks? Okay. These are all oracles. I'm just moving them over to the other box, which I think is all oracles. And Mary L. Guys are like, what is she doing? I'm just unpacking my box, my cards with you. Oh yeah. This is a deck I have not pulled out in a long time. I've had this for ages. The Transparent Tarot. This long time. So the cards are actually transparent, and there's a way you can overlap the images. Let's see. Can I do that? Can you see that? You lay them down on a white cloth, and the images can overlap, but I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. Like the cards laid on top of each other, it creates a new image, or just however you lay your spread. Again, very cool concept. I've not seen this around a lot. It's probably not in print. I've probably had this 8 years, 10 years, a long time. When was this published? 2008. Maybe longer. I haven't had it since 2008, but maybe 2012. Okay, let's set that up there without it falling. And then we have the Sacred India Tarot. And this is a deck I've used a lot. I actually have 2 copies of this. This is the newer one, which with a different cardstock. I like my old beat up one better, which I've used a lot, somewhere in the box. But one of my favorite decks based on Indian mythologies, the Mahabharata, the life of Buddha, the story of Shiva and Parvati. Oops, I'm off camera there. So yeah, so those of you who've followed my channel, especially the early years, I started 2014. Probably saw me use this deck quite a lot. And then we have the lovely Marielle Tarot. I have, well, those are just the books in there. I have the older deck and the smaller, newish one that had all those printing issues. I don't mind, but I really love the old High Priestess better. So the Marielle, very popular, well-known deck. As you can see, it's been used and worn a lot. Yeah, and because of the imagery, like I'm conscious of like who my client is I'm working with, and if I feel like some decks are a little too much, you know, I won't pull them out. So our lovely Marielle, again, black background. I don't know why I haven't thought about that before. Okay, let's get her wrapped up. Okay. See, now I have to put these away. Thanks for helping me. Next deck, the Tarot Noir. Le Tarot Noir. It comes in a bag as well. Very large deck. It is a Pip deck, a Marseille deck. Just love the art style of it. But they are huge cards, right? So you can get an idea there. Yeah, love this deck. Need to pull it out more. Now that I'm remembering all that I have. Okay. That was one. There's only a few decks where I really just kind of waited for them to come back into print. I had to order this from France directly. Yeah, which was an interesting experience. Okay, put that down. And then we have my children's tarot. So this is one of my decks I've created. Oh, is this my daughter's beat up version? No, that's just an extra card. She beat up a few of these when she was a toddler. So my children's tarot. I love this deck. Not just because I made it, but because it's adorable. Wonderful for children. I think my daughter started chewing on her first version when she was 18 months. Okay, I'll set that there. Maybe I'll just get through this one box today and get all these out. Oh, and yay. There's been a few herbal books I've been missing, and I knew they were probably at the bottom of a tarot box, and here they are. Yeah, we'll get through this box, and then we'll have to stop, and we'll maybe do an oracle deck version or something. All right, next, Tarot of the She. Another deck I've used a lot. I've had for a long, long time. It's holding up well. It's a slightly thicker cardstock and slightly bigger than your standard tarot size. Although I think there's like lots of decks have come out with like mini versions. So Tarot of the She, Celtic Fae based deck. This was really popular for a while. I don't know now. I mean, honestly, I haven't really been watching any tarot on YouTube. One, I've been too busy, and if I'm watching something, it's something on gardening or something like that. Or fixing up your home, putting in a floor, or whatever, you know. Then we have our Herb Crafters Tarot. Open slowly. Lovely little book. And yeah, probably one of my favorite herb decks. So we have Temperance, Camellia. These were all hand-painted images, I believe. I see the associations of the chosen herb or plant with the card. I think for most of them, for all of them. I can't think of anywhere I'm like, why is that used for that? So if you don't know, I'm also an herbalist, right? Herbology. So I love this deck. I know a lot of people trimmed off. I think I've seen a lot of people trim the trim but then you lose the name of the plant. So if you don't know your plants, you're going to have to like, if you want to work with the plant energy associated with the card. So that's up to the individual, right? So that's the Herb Crafters Tarot. I'm going to run out of room here. Then we have the Botanical deck. See, there's 2 T's because the creator's last name is Bot with 2 T's. It's not misspelled. This is a Tarorical. Wait, there's 2 different decks I have of hers that go together. So now I have to see what's in this box. If I can get it out of the bag. I put this bag with the deck. So this is, this is the tarot deck. So Ace of Poisons. I don't know how well you can see that. Can you read that? It's very thin writing. So Deadly Nightshade. I love the matte swoosh. I love that matte swoosh. And though different from the Herb Crafters, I do like the plant association with the tarot. So Dandelion, 5 of Medicines. And I like this kind of funky digital art look. I don't like a lot of digital art, but I like her style. Okay. There's also, I think there's also an Oracle deck I have of hers that sort of came as a pairing with this. Now I can't quite remember, but that's why we're doing this. Okay. And then we have the Botanica Tarot deck. Another botanical one. This one was, I think, a Kickstarter. Ugh, I can open this up. It has a nice book that comes with it. It's like hardbound little book. And this I got not too long before we moved. I worked with it for a while though. So this one, a lot of these are very tropical plants. So it's not an herbalism botanical deck. So it's the plants depicted have meaning, but not as intensely as the other 2, or especially the Crafters Tarot. And again, there's a lot of tropical or warm weather plants that I'm not so familiar with. So I do want to work with this deck some more and get to know some of these plants and see how well they're working with the tarot associations. Okay, but it's beautiful and it's on a background. And I think these were like painted on wood and then photographs taken of them, because you could see a little bit of the wood grain in the images. Probably not on camera, but in person you can. You lose things on camera. Okay. Put that back there. I'm so excited to work with some of these decks. All right. I think it was just I wasn't totally on a break from tarot. I was still working here and there. But I think it was a good break from the large numbers of decks. And anyway, so the next one is the Mystic Fairy Tarot. It is not this big. This is my old one, super worn, and a new one, which is also laminated and shiny. So I'll show you pictures from the new one. My old one, that's actually probably the old Mystic Fairy, super worn. It's probably the oldest deck I own now. I mean, there were older ones, but they either got so worn, they had to move on, or I gave them away. So this is what the new one looks like. The old one has borders and this one does not. So I think you can only get it like this now. The colors are so much brighter. But a very cute Fae Fairy deck, the Mystic Fairy Tarot. But I've just put them both together in this bag, and I don't have the box. I might probably have a book, one of the books at least. Okay, that's you. These are ones in bags. Sometimes gets the boxes, you know, when it comes with a big box and a big book, it just gets really bulky. So I get rid of the box, put the book with the books, other books, and get a bag. Okay, so this is the Inner Child Tarot. And this is one of the last decks I got before moving. And I've only bought maybe 2 decks. I have a Kickstarter I'm waiting for. So we'll say 3 decks since I moved in the past year and a half. So not many. So this is monstrous, monstrously huge, an oversized deck. And each suit has different themes. So 9 of crystals. There's also like gnomes here. So Inner Child Tarot, it just plays with a child's imagination. It's not so much like a inner child shadow work trauma healing deck. It's more of a playful inner child deck. Yeah. Okay. Very paper thin, which is fine. Just if it's something you wanted, just be aware of that. I think I bought it directly from the creator, and I can't remember the name. And the book did come with the book, is somewhere else. Okay, moving on. Next mystery deck. I used to know which deck was in which bag by the bag color, and now I have to remember. Oh, this is it's one of the 2 collab decks I worked on. I have videos on them on my channel in my deck tour playlist if you want to check them out. This one was with the Tarot and Tea online forum group. I don't know if they exist anymore. I haven't checked in on these. I've just been too busy. Oh yeah, I put and so I made 2 cards in this tarot deck, and I'll show them to you. I made the Hanged one. So this was like, I don't know, 2019, 2018, something like that, maybe 2020. I don't know. It was a while ago. See when the video came out. And I made the 7 of Fire. So different people made 1 or a couple cards if they had time. And so the art is different. Art theme is different on each one. So this was the second collab deck I worked on. And the first one will come up at some point. Yeah, so you get an idea for that. I don't know if this is available. I think you could, it was printed on Printer Studio, which is one of the print on demand online printers, which like I use Game Crafter and make playing cards. So it's just print on demand for indie creators to print their decks, or have people to order directly from the printer. Rather than having to store thousands of decks in my home and ship them myself. Okay, so you can check Printer Studio and see. Yeah, I don't know what it was called. It didn't come with a box. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Printer Studio. But again, look on my deck tour playlist for my collab decks, and the info will be under that video. Okay, so this is Tarot of the Secret Dawn. It's a secret deck, so I'm going to keep it secret. From the Golden Dawn. I don't think you can get it anymore. Okay, we're almost done with this box. Oh, so thank you. Hi, Mama Sees All. Love your children, so very special. Thank you. And she says, a great way to learn, visual learner. Yeah, so it's created for kids who, I mean, older kids can get it, but if your kid can't read, right, or can't read yet, like for little kids, it's great. And I think it can help with some of those minor little conflicts little kids have. being a mom of a 5.5-year-old. Okay, let me grab a few more decks. I'm almost to the bottom here. Let's get all these out. Here's the other Sacred India, my worn out version. And there's some books and some oracle decks. Am I totally on this camera? Oh, that's the one deck. This I would say is oracle. Some are like tarot oracle, but obviously they're not really tarot. Your oracle. Almost done, folks. Almost done. Some mystery decks here. All right. Last batch. I'll put these on my lap. Okay, this is a deck. That's an oracle that I bought when we were staying in the rental house. So this is one that I bought in the past this year. No, 2022. It's 2023, huh? The Lost Tarot. It's actually teeny. It comes with a bag, but I haven't put it in the bag. It's because obviously I've been busy. I haven't worked with this at all. I've looked through it, but it's on the creepier side. So some people might see that as more of a Halloween season deck. But I was just very intrigued by it. So that's that deck. Indie deck. I don't know, you'll have to search the name. The Lost Tarot. Okay. And then we have the Key Master Tarot. I like this deck. There was one. I think I missed one and I just set it down and didn't. Whoa, wait a minute. I thought I had, because this deck is reminding me of another one, but I did not. I think it's in my Oracle box. I think, as decks go flying all over the place. Hold, please. Let's see. No. Really? Oh, I think it's in a different deck, a different box. The third box I haven't even I don't have in reach. Okay. Anyway, so here we have the Key Master Tarot. Beautiful deck. Again, it kind of has a black background theme, black and gold. Pip deck. I believe this was a Kickstarter. Love the artwork. Need to use it more. But I think you can get a lot of Kickstarters then sell their decks normally. Then we have the Ophidia Rosa Tarot. Another very old deck. Black background. It is a plant-based deck, but I wouldn't call it an herbalism deck, though there is some reasoning behind what is chosen. And this was the original. It didn't come with a guidebook. It came with where I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, the images don't necessarily tell you everything. I think I have a video on this, one of my early reviews. It comes with this little fold out, and it kind of gives you a meaning of the cards, but it's actually a poem. So you got to read the whole thing. I don't know if it comes with that still, because I've had this a very long time. But again, that's the Ophidia Rosa Tarot. Keymaster. Next is Tarot of Plants. Another small indie. I don't remember where I got it. I've had it a long time. I think it was one of my first plant-based decks, maybe, besides Ophidia Rosa. And This one, I kind of struggled with some of the plant associations with some of the cards. Like it didn't quite fit. And then you have to know the magical planetary associations with the cards, because this is for the plant, not for the tarot card association, because the tarot cards have their own planetary associations. So that can make it a little confusing. But then also it made me think, well, it didn't quite fit. So this is a deck I haven't known what to do with. I don't use it, but maybe I should explore it more now and try to see if there's more sense with the planetary connections or the plant choice. But then those, some of them just have opposing planetary connections. Like the plant has its own planetary connection, and the tarot card has its own planetary associations. And some of them, I don't know. I'll see. I'll probably play with it some more at some point. Okay, then we have my own deck, the Medieval Sigils Tarot. It seems like a simple deck, but it took so long to create. It's all sigils. It's a highly intuitive deck. The parts of the sigils all connect to whatever tarot card it is associated with. So it has the number and the element, or just the number if it's a major, right? So this was just, it was more fun for me to create it than anything else. It took a long time. Okay, and I have a couple extra copies. Oh, one I used to make my handmade copies, so I kind of beat it up, and I have, I have an extra copy if someone wants one. Just pay for shipping. And then we have my other deck. This is the mini version of the Scrying Poetry Tarot. Love this one too. It's all poetry. A little hard to see on screen. I think it comes across. But I have a video on this as well. It goes into details. I think it's like the featured video on my channel page. Oh, you're upside down. Why is that? Judgment was upside down, and I keep them all upright. I used to read always with reverse, years and years, and then I just started clearing my decks by putting them all upright, and I prefer to keep it that way. Okay, so now we have these bags, and then we're done with one box, and I'll stop there. Maybe I'll do another one. You guys got to let me know in the chat or in the comments below if you're watching this later, if you want me to wait and unbox the rest with you. I'll wait a few days. Oh, so this is an oracle. It's a fairy deck. This must also be, since we're just doing tarot today, yes. Ryan Froud's decks. Here we have, oh yeah, this is the companion oracle to the botanical. Oh no, this is the tarot one. So the botanical with 2 T's deck I showed you is actually the oracle. That's right, because it was so thin. This is the tarot deck, the botanical tarot. I just put the oracle in the box, and I put this in a bag. I don't know if you just heard my stomach growl. So it's getting close to my lunchtime or my second breakfast time. I didn't have second breakfast because it came on here. Yes, this is the tarot deck. Okay, so that's that. So an oracle deck snuck in, and 2 more bags here. What do we have? We have, dun, dun, dun. Oh, what do you call it? This deck, Dreams of Gaia. Yeah, Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which has extra cards. So there are some, it's a tarot-oracle in a way. Again, I'm just realizing black background. I really love the deck. I think black makes things stand out. People always think that's funny, but like there's a little hallway that leads to my office here. Of course, I have black furniture, and I wallpapered it, which was quite a process because it's a small room and yet all these little 3 doorways and little edges, but it's a black-based wallpaper. People are like, what? No, it's gonna look good, and it looks great. So Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I also have the mini version of this. I think I do. I used to, at least. it would be in another box. I know I thought of giving it away because I was like, oh, do I need 2 copies? Hi, Teresa. Hello. Some people are popping in. Hello. Nice to see y'all. Yeah, I'm just excited people showed up because I'm like, I don't even know if it's going to show. Oh, here we have the Dark Goddess Tarot. Yes, it's in a bag. That doesn't match it. The Dark Goddess Tarot, I think. The Goddess Tarot. It's all goddesses. I think it's the Dark Goddess. I'm pretty sure. I have the book. The book is put away. But here we have, yeah. Lovely deck. Have you guys seen Moana? And I just think of Tafiti when I see that. I only watch kids things because my daughter's watching it. All right. And last but not least for this one, and we're at 11:11. It's 11:11 now. So I will, oh, this is my other version of the Marielle. This is the smaller one without the borders that had all those shipping and printing issues. This one had issues, but I just kept it. I think the full card has a cut on it, but otherwise, okay. I liked it enough to not need to send it back. So that is box 1 of 3 boxes of tarot and oracle cards. Anyone count how many? I'm afraid to actually know. I know there's hundreds. I think I have about 300 decks. So yeah, so let me know in the chat, in the comments below, if you want me to unbox the rest with you, if that was fun for you guys. Thank you, World Bridger. Because there's 2 more boxes full of decks I need to unpack and put in, I can't point on camera, this cabinet up there. There's some of, those are the astrology books. Some of the books are put away. And get these boxes out of my office so it could be 100% all unpacked and functional. I'm actually going to put a dog bed over there. Oh, another update. I got a puppy. I got an Alaskan Malamute puppy in September 30th. So he's also kept me busy. He's now over 100 pounds and 9 months old. And a cool thing, we share a birthday. So it was meant to be. All right, everyone. Yeah, so let me know. And as I mentioned at the start, for those who came on later, because I see like people coming in and out, if there's a deck here you really want, email me. I don't know if I'm willing to part with it, but having this long break from seeing all these decks, you know, it might be time to downsize a little because I've really like nearly stopped buying new decks. Just a few, like the Kickstarter I'm waiting on is one I've been waiting for like 5 years to be completed. So let me know if you're really itching to have one of these. Email again is on my about page on my channel. Just click my name and then click about up at the top. And if I'm willing to part with it, we'll talk. Okay. Well, thanks everyone who showed up and who's watching back later. It actually feels really good to be back. And I wanted to wait until I really felt like, yes, I want to start posting videos on probably a somewhat irregular basis. Okay. All right. I am signing out, you guys. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you back here soon.